The courtroom buzzed as 16-year-old Maya Johnson nervously took her seat in the witness stand. She had been called to testify after witnessing a robbery outside her school. Wearing a simple sweater and carrying only a notebook, she looked more like a frightened student than someone prepared to face an experienced attorney. Defense lawyer Richard Collins smirked the moment he approached. "So, you're telling this court we're supposed to trust the memory of a child?" he asked loudly. "I saw what happened," Maya replied quietly. Collins laughed. "You probably confused one person for another. Teenagers spend more time on their phones than paying attention." Several jurors exchanged uncomfortable looks, but Collins continued. "You expect us to believe you can identify someone weeks later? Maybe you're just looking for attention." Maya's hands trembled, yet she remained calm. "I told the police exactly what I saw." The attorney leaned closer. "Or maybe someone coached you." The prosecutor immediately objected. "Objection. Counsel is harassing the witness." "Sustained," the judge replied, though Collins barely changed his tone. "Oh, come on. She's obviously overwhelmed." Maya lowered her eyes. She wasn't crying, but the courtroom could see how uncomfortable she had become. At that moment, the courtroom doors opened. A woman in a dark federal uniform walked inside with confident steps. A polished badge rested on her belt. She approached the prosecutor and quietly handed over a document before turning toward Maya. "It's okay, sweetheart," she said. Maya smiled with relief. "Mom." The courtroom grew silent. The judge looked over his glasses. "And you are?" The woman reached into her jacket and displayed a gold badge. "Deputy U.S. Marshal Angela Johnson." Richard Collins' confident smile disappeared. The judge nodded respectfully. "Marshal Johnson, is there a problem?" "There may be," she answered. "I just learned that defense counsel has been intimidating a juvenile witness despite being warned multiple times before." Collins immediately protested. "I was simply doing my job." Angela calmly removed a folder from her briefcase. "No, counselor. This isn't the first complaint. Over the past 18 months, multiple judges have documented nearly identical conduct involving young witnesses." The prosecutor looked surprised. "You have records?" "Certified copies." She handed the file to the judge. The courtroom became completely silent as the judge flipped through page after page of disciplinary complaints, sanctions, and written warnings. Collins' face turned pale. Those cases were resolved." "Some were," Angela replied. "Others remain under review." The judge looked directly at the attorney. "Why was none of this disclosed to the court?" Collins had no answer. Angela continued. "My daughter agreed to testify because she believed telling the truth mattered. Instead, she was publicly ridiculed for doing her civic duty." Several jurors nodded. The judge closed the folder. "This court will recess for 30 minutes." When the hearing resumed, Collins was no longer standing at the defense table. Another attorney had taken his place after the judge ruled that Collins' conduct had unfairly influenced the proceedings. Outside the courtroom, reporters gathered as news spread that the State Bar Association had opened a formal ethics investigation. Maya walked beside her mother. "You didn't come because I'm your daughter, did you?" she asked. Angela smiled. "I came because every witness deserves respect." Weeks later, Collins faced disciplinary hearings that resulted in a lengthy suspension of his law license. The robbery trial continued with a new attorney, and Maya testified without interruption. The jury ultimately returned a verdict based on the evidence, not intimidation. As they left the courthouse together, Maya looked at her mother. "I was scared." Angela squeezed her hand. "Courage isn't about not being scared. It's about telling the truth anyway." For the first time since entering the courtroom, Maya smiled. Justice had spoken louder than intimidation ever could.